scoreboard. No, not scoreboard. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Onward VR Master League. I am your host, Monorchid, and I'm joined today by my co-caster, Theta. How are you doing today, Theta?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking.
We are excited to be bringing you this Pandamonium versus Entity matchup, Season 11, Week 15, the last week of regular matches here in the VRML. Should be an exciting match between these two teams. See who can come out on top. Who's going to be going home with a W right before the season ends, and then into the, I believe it's called Challenger Cup. Is that right? Yeah, Challenger Cup. If they choose to do so, in order to get that coveted last 8th spot for the semifinals. So that should be pretty exciting to see those matches coming up in the future here. But let's just jump right over into the bans. What do we got today, Theta?
Starting with the home team, which is Pandamonium, they are banning Snow Peak.
Okay, Snow Peak, a pretty interesting ban choice from Pandamonium. A map that I don't think a lot of players, you either love it or you hate it, I will say. What do we got for Entity?
Entity is banning Cargo.
Okay. And what are your thoughts about those bans, Theta?
I think they're both bans for weakness. Pandas have a 35% round win rate on Snow Peak, which is a pretty glaring hole on anybody's statistics. So I think they just want to stay away from a map where they feel like they are not going to have a good chance of winning. And same thing with Entity, but with Cargo, they have a 48% round win rate. And as a rule of thumb, anytime you see below 50%, usually not great. It means it's a map you likely have to work on. So I think both of these teams are just trying to stay off of the maps that they don't feel comfortable with.
I could totally see that. And honestly, Pandemonium have been pretty darn good in the past at Cargo. It's definitely a good map for Entity to ban, I think. Which brings us kind of interestingly, both in the medium and the long range categories. You do have some of those kind of staples like Suburbia that we probably will see, in my opinion. But we might even see something like a Downfall. Or even a Quarantine, which will be map number 1.
Or even a Subway.
Even a Subway. That would be excellent, I think. Love to see a Subway, and I think both of these teams would do very well on it, so it'd be a great battle to watch between these two teams face off against one another and really give us a good show. Let's throw that on there. I'm also going to quickly run the intro that I totally didn't forget to run. And then we'll be right back in here for us, a little bit of pre-analysis and hopefully soon after that, the game. Yeah, no streaming. All right, we are back here. Quarantine, an interesting pick from the Pandas. Not one of their typical picks that I've seen from them in the past, but it's also been a long time since we've seen the Pandas on cast, actually. It's just one of those teams that unfortunately haven't got as many casts this season. Been kind of a crazy season, all in all. But we will get to see them now, which I'm really excited to see right before the season closes out. Entity had a few casts, I believe, as well, but also one of the lesser cast teams this season anyway. So we're going to be seeing some interesting new tactics, different ways to play the game, and different ways that these teams are going to work together and try and take each other down. And it'll be pretty fun, I think, because it'll be a bit more fresh. Neither of these teams are going to have a lot of current up-to-date information to run off of, and instead are going to have to just go off what their own tactics afford them.
Indeed. In fact, the Pandas, I should say, have only had one cast this season, and I was part of that casting crew. That was just a nail biter of a match between the Pandas and Blackwatch, which was decided on the very last round. So I would imagine they want to come out here and get some redemption for their last cast of the season, if I were to guess.
Absolutely. Always fun to have those final matches to close it out. See what you can do. There's always the next season, off-season tournaments and Challenger Cup to get more Onward action. But there's something special, I think, about the final game in the VRML season, the last one before it officially closes out just before the finals.
Especially if you're not within range of the top 8, because then you can just sort of let it all hang out. If there's anything that you wanted to try out, any lineups that maybe you wanted to shift around, maybe people didn't get enough reps through certain parts of the season, whatever, you put them in and just see what happens. So I know everybody likes to see those games where everybody's fighting for those top spots so they can get into the closed qualifier. But I think these are the kinds of games you can get some pretty spicy plays out of too, because people are just out there to play, really. Just play to have fun, play to try things, try to experiment. So I expect we'll see some sparks today.
Yeah, these are almost the fun ones, if you will, where people are, like you said, just really putting it out there. They're secret squirrel strategies that, didn't quite meet the cut maybe, or you're just kind of unsure of. Really get a feel for what maybe you could bring next season to dominate the field.
Yeah.
And I think Quarantine is one of those maps that I think that there's plenty of room for experimentation on. There's plenty of objectives to choose from. You could just throw a dart at the minimap and hit an objective, it feels like to me.
Either an objective or a spawn.
Yeah, it's a crazy map. A lot of opportunities for flanks, for big one side pushes, sneaky down the middle action, going for those caps. There's just a lot of variability in this map, and I think it's been a bit underrepresented. I would have loved to actually see the stats on that. I remember at least in previous seasons we could see what maps were most played, what maps were least played, and I kind of feel like Quarantine is going to be on the lower side there, just going off my gut feeling. Would you agree there, Theta?
I would. I think a lot of that is just due to the fact that there are so many objectives and so many spawns that teams have found it hard to prepare for. Some teams just say, whatever, we're going to play this anyway. But it's common to ban Quarantine, from what I've noticed. And even if it's not banned, a lot of teams just don't want to pick it. So it's it's too bad, because the variability of the map is what makes it so interesting both to watch and play. But when there's a ranking system, people care about it, and they're going to play on maps that they think give them the best chance of moving up. Quarantine is not one of those maps. It's just too uncertain for most teams.
Right, and that's actually a bit of an opportunity for those teams that are willing to put in, almost double, the amount of effort to really, get those spawns nailed down pat, to figure out your defenses for so many objectives and deal with so many variables. But if you are able to do that, you could really have quite the advantage, as you would be prepared and they would not. As like you said, there's a lot of teams just kind of shun the map and they just hope that it doesn't get picked. It's actually interesting. I feel like a lot of teams are not very well practiced on a map like Quarantine, but also don't ban it either. They just hope that the enemy team also is feeling the same way and doesn't pick it. You know what I mean?
It's a little bit of a game of chicken between teams, no doubt.
Definitely seen that, and pretty similar with the custom maps as well. But I even the custom maps get played quite a bit more than a map like Quarantine. So an interesting one nonetheless. We'll jump into a quick intermission, though. Let these teams get their first round strats down pat. When they're ready to go, we'll jump in there, follow along in the action, and see this match unfold. So we'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned. I told you it would be soon, guys. I wasn't lying. We're going to jump into round one here. See the teams face off. First objective, the plane objective. An interesting one here. We see our players running out and getting into position quickly. Couple moving across quickly into the hospital, taking control there. One going down the south lane there in Reinhardt Dean. Gonna be possibly in danger here from a player like Gun Rama sitting in the center, burning.
And Gun just pulled his tablet. I think he knows there's nobody near him that's friendly. And there's no doubt that he heard those footsteps right below him.
Definitely a threat, both of these players. Not sure what exactly to do here. Just hoping that the other player will make the first move in order to just stay in a defensive position. Reinhardt can look across while waiting for Gun Rama and not actually have to threaten him. And Gun Rama is going to feel compelled to just continue watching down the stairs. But Reinhardt will push up the stairs here, takes control of the first flight of stairs, comes around the corner, and gets Gun Rama there right before Gun Rama could get his gun up and back into position.
And that leaves a big hole in the middle of the map for the Pandas to rush through. Now shots coming out from the impact building.
A lot of suppressing fire coming out from both of these teams, just trying to get those lucky picks. And a dangerous position for some of these players now, with Reinhardt taking full control of burning, able to peek from that top story there or come around the outside as we see now. Pretty powerful position to have control of. And if they continue to focus on these players in the south, this three-man fire team and Light Wolf, Reinhardt, and who is that, Nexus, this north team could do a lot of damage. Who is currently coming around the outside. But as I say that, Hangman goes down in a trade. Light Wolf kick in the bucket there, but Hangman still up, able to give those call-outs. And now it'll be a race between Fitz and Reinhardt to get that confirm or that revive.
And Navaste now near the north roof with a sniper rifle. I think she's going to be in a position to get a pick off of Lumpy if he exposes himself at all to that northwest area. But now he's getting distracted. He rotates around. This could, in fact, work in the Panda's favor because he's now looking away from that attack. As I say that, Nev goes prone and is just about to have an angle on that building.
Well, Lumpy is looking her way, though, and catches her out before she can get eyes on him. Unfortunate for Nev, and great rotation and forethought from Lumpy.
No kidding. I thought for sure she was going to have the drop on him, but was not to be.
This is a tough one from Pandas. Their attack looks so strong. Coming out the gate there, getting that pick, getting control of the battlefield here. Fitz now going for this revive. Reinhardt Dean keeping quiet, knowing that maybe he could get a revive later. Maybe giving some click call-outs to Nexus, who is trying to rotate around. But Hangman in a great position to just give that information, letting Fitz know that Nexus is around and he does need to worry about that. Going for that pick there, not able to do that. Looks like maybe he shot himself, or maybe we're just having some visual glitch there. But nobody gonna die there. Nexus getting the revive onto Reinhardt?
No, that was the confirm, actually.
Oh, was it? I was gonna say that was a really long revive for that to happen. Poor Reinhardt. White Fang, though, getting a pick in the back here. We're all distracted with that revive action going down. And while it's a little dicey here for Pandas in this first round, White Fang's in an excellent position to pressure the objective and really force Jacob to look back. And Nexus getting the picks as well, all the way on the other side. Pandas swinging it back to their favor.
White Fang now approaching from this northwest side of Impact. I think Jacobo heard him. He's running around, and White Fang gets the pick. And now we're into a 1v1, minute and a half left. Hangman now rushing back to the objective.
You can see the panic in Hangman as there's so many positions that he now has to worry about. Getting capped on is a very real possibility here. He's going to have to do a lot of work here. He's going to have to check around the corner. He's going to have to check up high. He's going to make sure no one's coming through the door. Either team could win this one at this point. It's really up in the air. It's a nail biter of a first round, that's for sure.
And he keeps checking that crack because if anybody doesn't know, you can cap from right outside the airplane building, or I should say the airplane itself, from that little crevasse right behind it. And so you have to, as a last defender, constantly check that, because they can just sneak up and crawl into that crack and get 2 points right under your nose. But White Fang's not taking that route. He's going directly to the objective through Impact. And he's about to walk right into that line, too.
Ooh,
Oh.
Entity coming out on top, and crazy final trade there. Unfortunate for the Pandas, but good work nonetheless, getting it down to a total wipe for both of those teams.
Yeah. Very close round.
Definitely so. Any takeaways with that one?
It seemed like there was a little bit of a disconnect with the attack between Reinhardt and Nexus, and then there was that confirm, the accidental confirm, I believe, which did not help things, and that turned it into a 2v1 near the gas station. Other than that, I felt like the Pandas had a pretty good attack, and then it just came down right to the wire, trading one person after another. 1v1 like that, it's pretty much a coin flip.
Definitely the case here. It's and when you're that last man, defender or attacker, man, you really feel the stress too. Everyone in the tent cheering you on, maybe something else, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be in those situations, to clutch it or nearly clutch it. And remember, if you lose those scenarios, you go down, you can always blame the rest of your team for dying early.
The one question you need to ask once you get into the tent is, how'd you guys die so fast? That's my
there you go.
Personally.
Definitely the case here. A great match brewing here. 1 point for Entity. Excellent work from Hangman too. Look at that, 3 kills, and he was the last person as well, wasn't he? Right there at the end.
Yeah.
Or was it Lumpy?
Nope, it was Hangman.
Oh, it was Hangman. Yeah. So doing excellent work there. Saw some excellent rotations from Entity, going for that revive, getting good communication out. And that rotation from Lumpy, getting that down onto Reinhardt, and then rotating and picking off Nev before he was in danger of getting flanked. Excellent work all in all from this Entity defense. But now we're going to have to see them go into the attack and see what they can do.
And this time Nev just taking a 2 times on an AK-12, so no sniping as far as I can tell.
Just baby sniping, that's all.
Mm-hmm. Diet
see what she does there. Diet sniping, there we go. Yeah. Nexus running and getting a position in burning, a pretty typical position for defenders to take, central on the map and also central to a lot of defenses. You can see a lot from there. Powerful position from attackers as well. This is going to be a position that Entity is really going to have to deal with. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble on pretty much any advance except for maybe like north.
And pretty spread out offense. There's 2 in the south, but other than that, there's kind of this long dispersed line leaning northeast. It can be pretty dangerous on a map this size. Not having any kind of refrag available can deprive you of valuable information.
Yeah, this I think the south attack from Entity is pretty interesting. Going very cautiously, just looking for those picks, waiting for the north team to really get in position, maybe support them from across the map. But they'll have to go through Navasave here first, as she's sitting here on the white car, just narrowly missing Hangman, who's behind the hill here. And she should soon be in contact with either Hangman himself or Lumpy, sitting up on the north wall. Definitely a tense situation between these set of players.
I see movement in the south dunes towards hospital.
Now, Gunrama and Jacobo making their way into the south warehouse. There's still quite a bit of space between both of these teams and the objective. So just taking their time, getting some cleared angles. I suspect they'll be timing up their attacks shortly. Meanwhile, Ryan Dean, watching the south from the gas station, should be ready for both of these southern attackers.
In the north, Lumpy continuing to watch from the north wall while Hangman has gotten a position up near the roof. Navaste doesn't seem to be aware, though, and will be possibly in contact with Hangman at any moment, who has a great position to engage her. Definitely going to have to worry about that, and at this point, she's going to have some quick reactions as he's in a great position. He's probably a position she's not going to be ready for. It's taking some shots downrange. Not sure what he was firing at there. Maybe just firing to get their attention. Reinhardt picking up Gunrama from the gas station. Gonna put a pause in Jacob's step, as there's now quite a barrier for him here. Lumpy moving up, though. Navaste not aware of this push from Lumpy coming all the way from the north wall here. Pretty crazy. No one's seen each other yet in the north.
I know, it's just one of those moments where onward timing is kicking in. You see these lasers just going right over each other's heads over and over again. I think Hangman is likely to have an angle on Navaste shortly. Yeah, he just spotted her. And Lumpy coming up right behind her. She's getting pinched.
She definitely is. She needs to turn around and watch her back. Try and defend from any possible secondary attackers, but giving call-outs and being prone isn't going to be enough, as Lumpy is in or on the building and right behind her, but not seeing her. I guess the hill was in the way, but still, it looked really funny. Jacob picking up Reinhardt Dean, opening up a bit of a path coming in from the south here. Now Nexus kind of in a tough position, totally surrounded here, but no one actually directly challenging him from the rubble and from below him. So he can continue to watch his angle here and try and stop any movement towards the objective, and that he will do, picking up Lumpy before he can get up and into the crash building.
And that position Nexus is in is so hard to deal with. If you don't see them ahead of time, get some kind of sense that there's somebody in center burning, because he clearly thought he was safe to get onto that red ledge and start moving, but Nexus just peeks up from that staircase and takes him out.
White Fang just narrowly missing Fitz, putting shots down range on him, or really up range, I guess, as he's up on the north roof there. Fitz putting some shots right back down there, letting him know he's still alive, and to keep his head down. Only a minute left, though. A minute and 5 seconds. It's going to be tough for these two Entity players to get in towards the objective and make a play. And just like that, Jacob is actually going for it, or going for burning anyway. Try and counter that player in the center there. Nexus calling it out, moving into position to defend himself. Jacob, though, not have much time to make any kind of sneaky play here. He needs to go fast and hard. He needs to take out Nexus and then push towards the objective in the confusion, or at least create an opening for Fitz.
Yeah, they've got 30 seconds. They cannot afford to be sneaking like this. Even if Jacobo wins this exchange with Nexus, he's going to be so far out of time. And just like that, it's over.
And it's over. Good rotation from Nexus, jumping down there. catching that movement and bringing this to a 1-1. Pretty tense start of this round. Two rounds down, and a 1-1 is the result. Either team gonna have to put some work in to pull ahead here, get the next point, and just continue that momentum. Or we could be seeing a beginning of a trade war. Both players just getting trading Volk rounds. And just continuing to just give us more and more nail biter action. I think you can know which one I want to see, but we'll just we'll just have to see what each team does here. And even if you choose a map, there's certain objectives you're going to be better at, certain ones you're going to be less versed at. So it's always fun to see a team that looks like it's floundering really get its wings on an objective that they're confident with. And really put the hurt on the other team. And could see that from either one of these teams, honestly. And this objective that we got coming up here, actually an interesting one of the quote-unquote newer ones, and actually one I don't see very often. But do you have any thoughts on this objective? I think it's just such a weird one.
It is an awkward objective, to say the least. And the thing is, it's hard to get to because there's so much open space around it, aside from that red ledge, which is just east. But once you're in it, if somebody's not directly on you, it's pretty easy to cap because there's so much space from the HESCOs. So there's a big risk-reward equation if you can get into the center of those HESCOs.
Definitely the case. And when that happens, you better bet that the defenders are scrambling to try and make a move, try and get a stop to it. Or they just don't notice it. So we'll have to wait and see what might happen here. But Hangman in the crash building, the only one here to try and stop this massive push coming from the Pandas. And Hangman just narrowly missing getting seen by Reinhardt, who could have came around and challenged him, but chose not to.
Looks like Hangman's more interested. Oh, I say that, and now he's coming along to the east side. He's about to confront these guys.
Gonna hear this.
Ryan Dean says no.
But Ryan Hangman's like, come back. Oh.
I imagine Hangman is quite confused after that exchange.
Interesting move from Reinhardt, choosing not to engage head on, but instead create that distraction, that chaos, and come around the backside while he's worrying about someone popping up through the top. Or Hangman worrying about that. But now Lumpy in a great position to stop any kind of aggression, continued aggression from Reinhardt. Taking control of Crash is usually the first step towards getting towards this objective, getting Overwatch on many of the spots that defenders could take, cutting the map in half, allowing your south team to continue to push up. But the Pandas instead are going for a bit more of a north push. 3 players going around the west side of the hospital. I think could work out well, but they're going to have to deal with Gunrama, who's in excellent position, sitting prone in this kind of back building. Pretty much no way for him to get flanked either. It's going to be a tough engagement, and I think it's an excellent defensive spot.
When Lumpy taking shots, now they know where he is. This is a tough spot to be in, assuming that they don't just run out in the open and get picked by Gunrama. He needs to make sure he gets off of that ledge and get into cover, because once they get an angle, it's pretty much over for him out in the open like that.
Nev, you're risking death here. Multiple lasers raking over the top of her head. If she continues to do that, it's probably not going to go well for her. Reinhardt here doing a great job, though, pushing up forward, downing Gunrama, but at least taking care of the kind of defensive flanker in a way, the lurk, if you will, who's doing a great job just waiting for that push from White Fang, from Navaste. But with him down, it'll be much tougher for this defense to just hem them in.
That smoke, I believe, was done intentionally to get a reaction, and Jacobo reciprocates by getting right on the objective. As I'm speaking, Lumpy takes out Light Wolf.
White Fang going down from Jacob, who, as you said, got into a bit of an ambush position on the objective. Doing very well for himself, but it's not going to have much time to continue living if he doesn't rotate. Nexus here coming around the corner might just get the shot on him if he can see him.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in a position. He just gets lumpy, and now he should be in a spot. Oh, but Jacobo spun around to see him. I was going to say he's going to shoot him in the back, but now Jacobo knows he's there. Fitz also watching that angle.
Yeah, I think these Navaste and Nexus need to play together here. Get them to all watch one direction while the other player comes in, gets a kill, and just trades off.
But
And
Nev
Navaste.
proning. Yeah, she's proning right on the Fitz's position, but she doesn't look over. And he couldn't see her even if he looked over there because she is prone. Oh, this is a tense moment.
Who's gonna see each other first? Who's gonna make that rotation? Might even see a push from Nexus, who is currently using a bit of smoke. Maybe get movement into the gas station. Tense situation all in all. Let's jump over to Nexus and see what he's looking at. Just kind of clearing the gas station. Both players really focus on the gas station even. They feel confident that there's some kind of attacker here. Nexus getting the pickup onto Jacob on the objective. Meanwhile, Nev pushing around the side of Volcarage. Should be able to get a shot on Fitz if he's not careful here. In cover now, but Navaste pretty aware of his position, maybe carrying a call out and picking out his foot to win that round.
Quite a sneaky play by Nev there. Yeah, they really pulled it back. It was starting to look a little gnarly as they started losing people, but that encirclement from the south paid massive dividends for them, and they end up going up 2-1.
I really like that attack. You know, they did a good job trying to take out those really entrenched defenders. Who Entity, I just want to say, had a very good kill box, especially for that northern attack. Excellent supporting lines and backup lines as well. Even if a player goes down, they had another player to pick up the slack. But with a little bit of action from Reinhardt, getting that shot across, taking out, I don't remember, Gunrama, and opening up that movement for Nev to get across. The kind of counterplay between Nexus and Nev to work together, to one player being the distraction, the other player being the flanker, was just absolutely beautiful to see, and worked so well. Nexus getting a kill, Nev coming in, getting that last kill while Fitz is distracted. That's exactly what you want to see. Definitely playing very well together, and we're seeing that teamwork come out full force in this match so far.
Yep, and it is teamwork that makes this game worth watching, because it is cool to watch highlight reel moments when one person does something spectacular, but seeing a team come together and execute at the same time is, at least for me, what makes this so interesting.
I couldn't agree more with you, Theta. That is the fun part about this game. We definitely see that in other competitive games, but the teamwork you see in Onward is just phenomenal. So many opportunities for things to go wrong, the timing to not to be just right, not have the right options or kits or movements, but when you see it, it's beautiful. And now we're going to see what Entity can do. Pretty similar attack pattern from them. 3 going north, 2 what looks like they're going to go south as well. Lumpy going prone here, trying to catch any movement from the crash building here, but not really going to find anybody, as White Fang is going into kind of that back position, just hoping to catch anybody coming around the west side, or pop around onto anybody that takes control of the crash building. Who's their flank team? Gunrama going hard south all by himself here. The second player going south, opting to go for a bit more of a slower approach. We'll just have to wait and see what they do here. Entity, though, in general, this match going pretty slow, going cautious, trying to get those picks, open up those opportunities to move towards the objective after taking out some of the dangerous, more flanked out defenders.
And both teams have been playing pretty deliberately. Every round coming down to the last minute or so. You can tell they just don't want to go down easy, even if it's the last match of the season.
Definitely the case here. Neither of these teams just giving up, going for those, going for the win, going for blood. Gunrama trying to get quite a sneaky little peek onto White Fang, but just not going to be able to see him here. But a good move nonetheless to get that information for your team. Try and see what you can see. But meanwhile, Jacob moving around the corner here, still not quite in a position to challenge White Fang, but on the right track. And to be honest, it's going to be a tough approach. Light Wolf in a great position to catch anybody moving too aggressively around the building. White Fang's going to hear that movement, get that opportunity to open up with some utility, or maybe just an ambush flank from the top. This push from him is going to be difficult, and I think the stealthy movement that we're seeing from him is absolutely warranted. This is what he needs to get kind of a foothold into a tricky approach spot. Meanwhile, Gunrama has taken control of the hospital roof. A great position maybe to catch a player onto Crash Building, or maybe see down and catch a glimpse onto a player like Nexus in the gas station who might not expect movement on the roof. Instead, looking for kind of a push from the bottom, just to see if he will come around the corner and take a gander. Meanwhile, Jacob continues to push forward into the Crash Building and has made entry without being noticed.
Yep, and Lumpy and Hangman making their way. Oh, as I say that, Lumpy taking some shots, but they are making their way over to Impact, which should alert White Fang to the fact that there's an attack coming into his position. And Jacobo right below him as well.
There's no escape for White Fang, and he doesn't even know it.
Nope. Oh, and a near team kill.
That's not what you want to see. Thankfully, they pulled off just in time. Navaste getting a pickup on the Gunrama, their south flank flare. White Fang picking up Jacob from the roof there and continues holding his position. Gives that call out. Hangman definitely going to be aware of where that came from. And Lumpy needs to turn. He needs to respond to this. But maybe just didn't quite hear where that came from. And currently is in danger if White Fang peaks at this moment.
That little cubby that White Fang is in, you just have to clear that if you're going to come into Impact, specifically because of this situation. People will just hang out, and now if White Fang comes out with the right timing, he can get a pretty easy double now.
Yeah, I'm surprised here. Hangman doing his best, but currently being kind of taking fire from all sides. Lumpy getting a pickup onto Light Wolf. An interesting smoke that he's using to stop any of that kind of rotation from White Fang. Definitely a good play, in my opinion.
It's almost, I do wonder, does he know he's there? Or is he just doing that as a precaution in case somebody's there? Because now he has to run through that smoke, and what was an easy kill is now a trade.
I did not expect that. Hangman, though, will be able to get revived. It's going to work out in his favor. I think the smoke gave Hangman that kind of opportunity to rotate on and trade with the likes of White Fang. And now 35 seconds left on the clock. Fitz having to go slow to get that revive. Reinhardt looking on and staying close to objective, just trying to make sure no sneaky last 30-second cap comes out. Pistol shot to get the attention of the enemy. Smokes coming out for that last man push, but they kind of have to go straight at it, and Hangman going to get picked up by Nev and Reinhardt. Reinhardt also picking up Fitz there at the end, and Pandas will pick up another point.
Yep, and now Panda's sort of running away, running away with this map. And Entity in a pretty tough spot because 1-3 like this, you want to be on Marsoc because that opens up the opportunity for a cap. But now you've got to play defense, and this is not a terribly capable objective. But if they capture this burning rubble area, you could be in trouble pretty quick. So they're going to have a kind of a spicy dynamic objective to deal with, and they have to hold that off until they have an opportunity to get a potential cap on Marsoc next time.
Definitely a tough one. Looking back at that last round, I think White Fang was pivotal. He slowed them down, which is low-key the most important thing he did in that whole round. Forced them to really concentrate on him for so long and punishing that kind of movement and forgetting about his position, maybe. I think the smoke was good. Kind of a precaution, like you said, but it wasn't a full enough plan, as he was still able to come around the corner and trade with Hangman and just eat up the last precious 10-15 seconds they have left in order to make some, make a play towards the objective. Reinhardt and Nev able to use that to their advantage and just mow them down as they ran out in the open with just no other options left on the table.
Yeah, time management so critical on these big maps, and it seems like both teams are struggling a little bit with that. Their timing seems to be off a bit, and they're getting it right down to the wire on their attacks. And if the Pandas want to close this out, they're going to have to do slightly better than that. We will see what happens, though.
Definitely the case here. We got the North spawn for Marsoc here, able to get a commanding position. And we'll have to see who comes out on top here, as it looks like Lumpy is going to go for a challenge on the north roof. Both players just running past each other. Reinhardt getting an immediate pick onto Hangman. Lumpy still not looking his way, though. Checking around the backside, able to pick up Reinhardt. No security, interestingly enough, for him there. And now is in a great position to continue challenging the rest of the Pandamonium team if he so desires. But just by holding the position he has on the roof is also very powerful. Whoa. Laser coming around him.
Yeah, I was going to say, they've ID'd him now, so he's in trouble.
He doesn't know it, though, and he comes out into view. Nev just narrowly missing to getting the shot, but not taking any fire towards him, so should have an option in the future here. Light Wolf, unbeknownst to him, is in grave danger as Lumpy is just around the corner here, trying to get a shot on him, but still not quite able to do so. An interesting start to this round, all in all. Oh, no chance for him. Jacob, pick up from the hospital roof there. This kind of Overwatch defense that we're seeing from Entity working out dividends for them. Able to get these pickups, even it up, and even bring it into their favor, and stop their team from moving really effectively, as they have pretty much not moved up at all from White Fang, Navaste, and their final player, Nexus, that is still alive at this time.
And you can see Nev repositioning herself behind the north roof. She knows somebody is up there. Couldn't quite get a shot, so she's just inching her way, just spider crabbing all the way up.
Spider crab, spider crab. What will a spider crab do?
Looks like this little spider crab is about to be in a face-to-face with Lumpy. She's looking towards the east, but Lumpy... Oh, does she spot him? I think she sees him underneath the units. Yeah,
Spider crab will go prone in times of danger.
The spider crab might take out some feet
Enemy.
Right here, and there it is.
Enemy kneecaps destroyed. Oh, man. Let's see that one quickly back again. A slow round all in all, though. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock. Gunrama and Jacob trying to get a pick on a Navaste on the roof, get that refrag in the bag, but so far unable to do so. Oop. let's actually stick along with this for a little bit longer here. Gunrama has an excellent view, but pulls away at the last second here. Will he come around the corner here and catch Navaste? Gets eyes on target, but the gun seems to malfunction. He pulls away, gets back on target though, gets that wonderful headshot onto Navaste there, and confirms with about 40 bullets, making sure he is in fact dead, or she is in fact dead. And we'll bring this to a 2v3 with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock.
When Nexus evens it up now, 2v2. White Fang getting a nice little overwatch from the top of the airplane and just misses seeing Gunrama, who's now more in the burning rubble area than inside the objective objective building itself.
Yeah, as good as this attacks from the Pandas has been, it's not over yet. Gunrama in a good position to maybe catch Nexus if he gets a little bit too peaky, or maybe even White Fang. But if he doesn't move soon, he's gonna get exposed. White Fang coming around the corner here should get a nice shot on the back of Gunrama, opening up the objective. Jacob on the roof, now wildly out of position, forced to wildly run out and trying to get back towards the objective. Knowing that a cap could come out from a zealous White Fang push, but Jacob is push across the street. Ooh, just narrowly missing getting taken out by Nexus there. Having to heal, sitting in the middle of the street here. Gonna have to do all he can. Utility coming out, flash going out, running back towards objective, knowing again this could just be a distraction. He seems to have dropped his weapon, going out with a one-hand pistol, not able to take out Nexus, but a valiant try nonetheless.
Yeah, that position on Hospital when it's only 2 up, that's pretty rough, because the moment Gunrama went down, that rotation is borderline suicidal. You have no way to get back safely. You're going to have to cross the street, likely right in front of the people who are attacking the objective. So he did the right thing, just a very hard position to be put in.
Definitely the case there. A valiant try, and I think maybe had some technical issues, I almost want to say. In the middle of the street there, seemed to have lost his weapon, and maybe even had a controller go out, it almost seemed like, as he didn't even have 2 hands on the gun. Just went for the one-hand pistol, praying to somebody, give him the strength he needs to get that accurate one tap headshot with a Makarov. Unfortunately, not today, but a good try nonetheless.
Let's see. I'm gonna look at the stats and see if I come up with an educated guess about where we're gonna go. So it's Entity's pick. Let's see the stats here. Okay, so their next strongest map beyond Snow Peak, which is banned, is Subway. So
For Entity?
Yes, for Entity. And they have picked it quite a bit. Yeah, I'm looking at their last 3 games, they picked Subway. Let's see how far back it goes. Yeah, they have a history of picking Subway that I can see. It is their most played map.
I wouldn't be surprised to see one Subway. But at the same time, you might choose something different just based on the team you're playing.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Very deliberate choice. Both of these players, or both of these teams rather, talking it out in the tent, getting that final decision locked in.
Well, everybody knows if you're going to pick a map, there's all the paperwork you have to fill out.
Oh boy, yeah. Oh,
you have to make a sacrifice to the VRML. There's all these things that you have to do. You have to light a few candles.
Yeah, yep. Or if you're not the captain, you just tell the captain to do it, or the co-captain, and you whinge and whine about it anyway. That's more what I'm familiar with. But it's tough for everybody. It's a group effort, all in all. But not quite sure Maybe the most deliberations of all deliberations.
Yeah. All right. We got one. We got a map. What do we have? We have Subway. All right.
Subway, map number 2. Excellent guess from Theta there. Maybe a bit of cheating along the way, but still a good guess. I will grudgingly give you that one.
How dare you?
Subway, kind of a mid-range to short-range map. Great opportunities for flanks, late game rotations, some close objectives, some medium objectives, some very, very capable objectives. It's a fun map with a lot of play and counterplay. A map that I think we all love seeing. And I think has gotten a bit more popular this season compared to previous seasons, as a lot of teams are playing this map. I think Quarantine used to be more of a VRML favorite, as it were, and now kind of being replaced by Subway of all maps. Not really similar in any way, really, but nonetheless, it's what I've been seeing. I don't know what you think about it, Theta.
No, I agree. I think we're seeing way more Subway this season than in previous seasons. For the casts that I've done, the majority of them contain a Subway for whatever reason, which makes me happy. I think Subway's a great map.
A great map and fun to watch as well.
It seems like in previous seasons, people were banning it quite a bit. It is a complex map because you have these multiple levels and timing it correctly can be hard, but yeah, for whatever reason, the league seems to be in favor of Subway more now.
It's interesting to see those meta shifts, as broad as map choices and as minute as specific tactics, as specific flankers or utility choices. Watching as the league develops in real time is always a joy to watch. And see in these casts as we watch these players, grow and fight and really show us what they've got and all that practice they've put in off camera to give us a good fight. And it's just a treat to watch.
Indeed. I was about to say we're missing a player, but Gun Rama has arrived just in the nick of time.
We're not naming any names, but Gun Rama coming back.
As that guy, as they call him.
Ready to bring the mania. Did pretty well last round, if I don't recall. But should be a good match brewing up here. First objective, you can't see it, guys, but I'll go ahead and spoil it for you. We have the center platform objective. This is, I think, one of the most different objectives. As interesting as that sounds, we have a lot of those really close range kind of ones. We have those sneaky ones like the basement, kind of a fortress even, I'll go ahead and say. But this one, you got kind of like the longest ranges possible. You have these tunnels that the defenders can hole up in, and a lot of approaches that the defenders are going to have to watch. So this is one of those objectives where tons and tons of things can happen all at once, and you really got to keep an eye on all directions, as they could come in from a cap from the tunnels. They could come behind the map, get those sneaky caps. Definitely a lot of dynamic options on this objective, and a really hard one to both attack and defend, in my opinion.
Well, once you lose that cover near the door, the step upstairs, as we call it, right next to objective, then things get spicy real quick. Even if you have people watching the lines nearby, if you don't have good coverage, they can run up that ramp or get behind for the map cap, and there's not a lot you can do about it. So it can go from kind of a boring, just sit there and wait for them to show up, and turn into a terrifying, oh my god, we're about to get capped on situation in no time flat.
You know what I mean?
Let's jump into round one here, guys. We are ready to get started there. A bit of a lull in the combat, but not for much longer. These players are here. They're ready. They're spawned in. They have drums, and they're ready to really throw it down. Let's see what they do. Two players going basement, Two players going for, looks like pretty heavy emphasis on the horseshoe, maybe going a player or two south as well. Pretty strong fire team in Fitz, Gunrama, and Hangman, while Jacob and Lumpy move together to clear the pop-up stairs here. And not anyone really there to challenge them. Light Wolf holding fast, actually not even in the same stairway. It's going to be Reinhardt just sitting out in the back using the cover of the kind of dark tunnel behind him to provide concealment.
Yeah, and on top of that, there's a C4 right above the step upstairs door. And
C4 has been spotted.
Yeah, I don't think there's any visibility on that until you're out of the door, so they will not have a good way of defusing that except for throwing a frag out.
Meanwhile, in the kind of horseshoe stairs, we got the two-man fire team pushing down each side of this kind of tunnel here, and one player watching the back. Gonna have a tough matchup in Nexus, who's got a nice ambush position behind this garbage can here as Gunrama continues to move forward. Wouldn't be surprised to see another C4, but it looks like he's got AK-12, a hallmark of the rifleman class, which does not have access to C4, at least not unless he's given it by his teammates. But Gunrama coming around the corner here will quickly run into the likes of Nexus. We'll just see what happens between these players here. Nexus gets that first pickup here. Fitz coming around the corner here, trying to get the comfort, but Nexus holding fast will get the flash off. Now Fitz and Hangman unable to defend themselves. Hangman pulling back here. Flash, but not out. Coming back, trying to get that refrag. Lumpy picking up Light Wolf. Wow. Entity doing their best here. Smoke coming out. Pandas and Entity both making respective gains in different areas. Jacob and Lumpy moving fast somewhere maybe in the basement. Yeah, in the basement. Just moving up here. Might run into the likes of Navaste. Let's jump over there really quickly here. Popping up from kind of these basement stairs here in the center of the map. Navaste, if she looks around, could get a good view onto them. Meanwhile, where is Hangman? Oh, full rotation from him, coming in from a different angle here. A good option when things aren't going your way.
Ooh, and Jacobo and Lumpy pretty grouped up on this stairwell. Navaste starts looking towards them. It's going to get ugly for them. But so far,
Definitely
she's just
good.
watching the north turnstiles. While Ryan right on objective. A little, and there's the first one from Navaste.
Jacob deciding he doesn't want to play anymore. Oh, maybe not. Going up, trying to get some challenge on Navaste. Smoke coming out, but not going to block the sightlines of Navaste. Where did the other guy go? Hangman going for yet another rotation here. Not willing to challenge White Fang, who is definitely aware of his push there. Both of these players, again, just going for the rotations. Move around, try and get those picks while they're distracted on separate angles here. But not too much time left. 2 minutes. See what they can do.
And this trend of trying to run the clock as much as possible on attacking rounds continues. I don't think we've had a round end in under 3 or 4 minutes this entire time. So we'll see if that trend gets stopped or not, but it doesn't look like it.
You can see Jacob here just trying to keep his head on a swivel, looking all directions, knowing that he's literally exposed from a 360-degree angles. All around him, they could be waiting in the tracks there. Jacob picking up the likes of White Fang in the south, but his position will be known. Going for what looks to be maybe the one last final rotation towards the north. But Hangman already there will run into the like of Navaste, who does get that pickup onto him. And now Jacob, not really having enough time left, will just have to push and go for it. Some crazy shots coming out of him, but the second one were accurate, picking up Navaste. He does have a fighting chance here. Reinhardt and him run into combat. Jacob furiously running into cover here, coming around the corner, picking up Reinhardt. It is now a 1v1 with 40 seconds left on the clock, running into a great position to go for this cap, but Nexus, if he's not careful, could get a pickup on him as he rotates into that position here. Nexus getting back onto objective as best he can without exposing too much, but Jacob just narrowly missing him as Nexus continues his push, knowing he just has to get near the objective here, get in a position to maybe ambush Jacob, who looks like he might even try for a cap, but he's not going to have time, able to just pop up and stop Nexus's aggressive push there right at the end, giving Entity that win.
Wow, from a 3v2 to a 1v1 and then a win for Entity. And that was pretty scary for a moment because Ryan went down on the objective. Nexus did not rotate initially. And Jacobo, fortunately for him, sort of slowed down and got near the objective on the tracks, but didn't go all the way up for the map cap. But if he had done that, that would have been 2 points. But either way, nicely executed attack by Entity.
Definitely so. What a nail biter of a round. These players just throwing us through a loop, man. Wow. Honestly, it looked like Panda had it in the bag. They just had an excellent defense. They were watching their angles, but a few key rotations from Entity were able to even it up, give Jacob, honestly, the advantage, as he could just wait for any kind of rotation from Nexus, who has to do his best to make sure nobody goes for that cap. And that's what he did. He just kind of waited, used the last few seconds to his advantage, knowing that Nexus would probably get antsy, and it worked out for him, bringing what looked like a surefire win for Panda right into the bag of Entity. Pretty quiet on the Pandamonium front. Everybody just so focused on their upcoming strategies here. 2 players heading into the basement, 3 going top side, 2 going north, 1 going south. Looks like they're not going to take anybody into the horseshoe, instead opting for quite a push from the basement and the 2 back stairs. Who is that on the south stairs here? White Fang? No. Who is it? Reinhardt. Reinhardt going down to the likes of Gunrama. An excellent pickup for Entity, bringing this to a 4v5.
And a pretty standard defensive arrangement for Entity. Coverage on both sides, +1 on the objective. And now we see the Pandas starting to push through the north turnstiles. This can be a pretty dangerous attack vector because you have to cross all this open space in front of the turnstiles, and Fitz he's watching that angle. If they come out in the open without any kind of smoke cover or anything, he's going to catch at least one of them.
Definitely a possibility, and it's a cheeky angle between the pillar and the wall. Would be really tough for White Fang to catch Fitz, but Fitz should be able to see that movement and be able to take out White Fang here. The laser coming around all over the top, and he gets that pick here. Light Wolf almost in line with him, trying to get that refrag, but not quite able to get him as Fitz able to get that rotation there. The refrag does come out for Light Wolf, picking that up, but still tough push for him. Meanwhile, Lumpy and Navaste should come into contact at any moment here. Lumpy watching like a hawk for any movement from the stairs here, popping up, maybe going to catch a view of Navaste, but not quite able to. Some utility coming out, but Navaste probably not even affected by it. It's both players going down in a tragic trade. Now just up to Hangman and Jacob. Both pretty far from objective, but having fairly good angles on it if they choose to just watch for any kind of rotations onto objective, but still a dangerous one. A smoke and a push could end up very badly for this defense. We'll just have to see what they do.
And Nexus just tossed a flash from the step upstairs. And now he's by himself. Jacobo heard that flash. He spun around immediately after he threw it. Oh, he's going to come into a spot where they are likely to be expecting him. It's a matter of whether he can deduce likely defender positions and do something about it. Looks like he will. And a nice shot onto Jacobo. This is extremely dangerous for Hangman now. If he gets behind this pillar, this is game, or not game, map. Not map round. I can't speak tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I can
But if
never
he
speak Theta, so.
So he gets some smoke on the pillar, and oh, this is going to be 2 points. This is definitely 2 points. Unless Hangman gets there right away or Nexus just flubs it, and there it is. 2 points for Pandamonium, and they go up 2-1.
Hangman, not looking so hot there at the end.
It is never a good feeling.
Good execution from Nexus there. That critical pickup right before the end gave him that breathing room he needed. Got that smoke going, went for the cap. Didn't waste any time either. He just put his faith in his capping abilities and was rewarded with 2 points. Dangerous 1v1 situation avoided, and 2 points on the board and putting Entity on the back foot. Now that they were being capped on, 2 points have been awarded to Pandas as a cap equals 2 points even if the enemy team is still alive. So a brutal position to come back from, or try to claw your way back from. Entity, who we're in the lead now, gonna have to do some miraculous rounds here, or bring some miraculous rounds to Pandas in order to bring this back. But this basement objective that we're going to be going into next, a tough one for any attacker or attacking team to really crack. Honestly, the most defensible objective in this map, and maybe of all of Onward, in my opinion. There's just a lot of opportunities for the defenders to pick up those attackers before they can even get a shot back as they come down the stairs, as they come through the choke point of the tunnel. A tough one. Do you have any thoughts on this one, Theta?
As long as the north is reinforced and people rotate back to the north as they lose people, this is a really hard objective to cap. In fact, the only time you ever really see caps on it is when the north gets cleared out suddenly and there's no reinforcements. Other than that, people lose on this, of course, on defense, but it's hard to get 2 points, and this was not the objective that Entity would want in this situation.
I actually got mixed up and thought the Entity was going into a defensive round. Yeah, this is what Pandas won, and what Entity is going to be dreading here. But if they can bring this attack, if they can take out the likes of Pandemonium on this objective, then they just go into a defensive round and bring this to a 3-3. So a lot on the line here for both of these teams. Pretty standard defensive lineup from the likes of Pandas. Everyone's staying low. A couple players in the north. What looks like maybe a floater in the middle, and one watching the tunnels in Namaste. Gonna be a tough one for Entity to crack here. Should be kind of a lull in the combat, as Entity will do their due diligence and check for any kind of flanking Pandemonium, which I wouldn't have been surprised to see, to be honest, from this team. Definitely something that I've seen them do in the past. But either way, once they clear that out, the full breach will come. And really interestingly, honestly, from Entity, this is where I think the wild card comes in. All players are on the second story platform. No players are challenging the tunnels, which is honestly a critical part of an attack for a lot of teams and their strategies. So I'm really interested to see how this Entity attack is going to play out and what their game plan is going forward.
And I see the C4 that Nev planted in the tunnel, but that's going to be for naught, I think. You said everybody is on the platform. They're likely to just be staging on the stairwells, attack that way. It's funny to watch because teams have preferences about this. Some teams like to go through the tunnel, some teams like to go through the platform, and some teams like to mix it up a bit and send people through both avenues. And there's pros and cons to either way. I'd say the hardest one about this is just you have to get the timing right, and you have to be able to account for the fact that you're running through a giant bottleneck when you go down those stairwells. Those are common C4 targets, common frag targets. So you need to be throwing lots of smoke, and you need to go in aggressively. If you hesitate in those bottlenecks at all, you can get team wiped pretty fast.
Definitely a worrisome situation for any team to deal with. The attack almost looks like it could come, or at least the probing. The choice of, are you going to slow peek the stairs, try and catch those tiny little heads at the bottom, or are you going to go in guns blazing, or maybe a kind of a mix of both using utility? We'll just have to see. No player rotating for the tunnels. I was kind of maybe expecting like a late game rotation into the tunnels, which very well could still happen. But it looks like Entity is going to put their cards into this second platform assault. The full team working together to just overwhelm, and we can see a very strong push coming in the north here, brewing as it were, just waiting for the movement to come out. Maybe a pick before the round starts. Utility coming out here, Gunrama getting into position here, maybe try and catch anyone near the bottom of the stairs. Some hand signals coming out, trying to get Fitz's attention, it looks like, but not quite able to get it there.
Jacobo on the opposite stairwell, just hoping that somebody peeks that south side, but it doesn't look like anybody's going to oblige him. Closest player is Light Wolf, but he is on the Fizzy Kook machine at the bottom of the stairwell.
Meanwhile, everyone just hanging tight, waiting for that final push to come in. No one getting antsy, no one peeking unnecessarily, not giving any purchase for an attack. It's going to be a tough one. But it looks like we're about to, it's about to start. Smoke's coming out. The north has been smoked up. A lot of smoke coming in. Gunrama going down to System C4. Or no, actually Reinhardt. Reinhardt, oh my gosh, everything is happening right now. White Fang getting a pickup onto Gunrama. The North attack team pretty much in shambles here. Hangman coming in to try and shore it up, maybe get a revive. Some more smoke coming from him, it looks like. Light Wolf picking up the likes of Jacob and Lumpy. Hangman coming around the corner. Wow. And just like that, Panda picked that one up. Too bad I missed this engagement here in the south stairs, but man.
Is how Onward works sometimes. All that careful planning, all that staging, all that timing, and then it's over in a flash.
Yeah, everything kind of just happening at once there. Got a little focus on that north attack. I think Entity was trying to get kind of a smoke cap coming out there. Maybe try and even it up, bring it back for them, put them a little bit in the lead there. But it did not work out. Pandamonium held fast, able to keep that the objective defended from the likes of Entity, and now we'll switch over to attacking this objective where just as it was hard for Entity, it will be hard for Pandas to take this objective, but maybe some different tactics, maybe the same tactics. We'll just have to see who prevails in this combat. But Entity on the line for sure is this round pivotal to their chance at winning this. If they lose this one, they will lose the series, as Pandas were able to pick up map number 1 here, and we do play it's just the best of 3 who can take the most maps here. So a tough one for both of these teams here. A lot on the line.
Indeed. And now at least Entity is in a position to defend this objective, which, as we just saw and we had talked about before, is hard to attack. So if they want to protect a potential comeback, this is the objective you want right now.
Yeah, if they're able to take this one, move into maybe one of the upper, like Chinatown or the mid street one, I think they have a good. Yeah, they have a good. Ooh, North Stairs. Yeah, they'd have a good chance to bring this one back. I definitely believe Entity is still in this one. So let's see what they can do for us here. Let's jump into round number 4. Always interesting to see that one. Round number 4 with so early with a cap already coming out. Utility being thrown, C4 being put somewhere near the top here. I thought he was actually going to pop up and out, but no, it decides to throw it somewhere. Not sure where it is, but Gunrama already getting a pickup at the pop-up stairs. Oh, he moved out. That's what happened. Okay. Must feel good to get that quick early pick right off the start there. Even it out an objective that already favors the defenders. That's exactly what you want to see. White Fang and Nexus moving up in the north. Meanwhile, Navaste and Lightwolf playing it safe, moving slow, always aware that a flank from the likes of Gunrama could come out. 4 players, though, going to be a tough one.
Yeah, and the Pandas have distributed their attack much more than Entity did. See, I'm flying around the tunnel, see if I can spot any C4, but
C4, see?
Trying to spot some explosives, see? So far, not seeing anything, and I don't see... Who is this? Jacobo doesn't have a clacker or anything, so I don't think there's any explosives in the tunnel. But Nev just Rambo crawling through the red room. Just wonder what the timing... Yeah, it's a real long way to go. So I wonder what the timing is supposed to be. Because it looks like, White Fang and the others, they're already in position. It's just a matter of getting the tunnel people going. But as I say that, White Fang is going down the north stairs. Nexus not backing him up, so he's by himself now.
I was going to say I was really concerned about Gunrama popping around and taking him out, but if White Fang just goes now, I guess they don't have to worry about that.
No.
This is quite a crazy push, and I'm hoping that he holds still. Let them reposition in front of you. Get that quick pickup. As if he goes now, I think he's just gonna get taken out. I mean, there's like 3 people ready to fight him off.
And Fitz has a clacker in his hand. I'm trying to find the C4, but I just don't see it anywhere on the stairwell.
I think it is somewhere above White Fang. I thought I saw someone. Oh, I see it. I threw it up on the camera here. It's up on the roof.
What?
Like, really?
What? What is that?
I don't know. Smoke coming out. Fitz blows the C4. Not able to catch anybody. Probably something they practice there. Movement coming out. White Fang just throwing it, but he's gonna get taken out. Or was it just a flash?
I think it was just a flash.
Oh my gosh, White Fang is just gonna kill everybody.
He's just gonna sit back and collect those sweet, sweet kills.
Woo! Just swing my gun back and forth, get all the kills.
Hey, Onward's easy, guys.
He makes something other. White Fang. It's not supposed to work this well. Now Jacob, probably in denial. His whole team dead, sitting in the smokes, trying to stop any kind of push. And White Fang, MVP that round, I'd say.
Yep.
Let's
Apparently,
watch that one back again.
I need to try that game plan out. Just sit on the stairs and see what happens.
I can't believe this.
Onward is
Onward's
a wacky game, I swear.
With that, Pandas will take map number 2, Subway, going down in the history books. Pandas will take the series as well, getting a W for their last match of the season, bar any challenges for the likes of Pandas. But we'll still play out map 3 for those sweet MMR points. This time, we'll have to see what they choose to end it up on. Any predictions, Theta?
Well, since I was called a cheater for looking at statistics last time, I'll just run off of a wild guess and say Bizarre, but I have no idea.
I think you're wrong. I think
Wow.
you're wrong. I don't think it's gonna happen.
All right, what do you think is going to happen? I've placed my wager on the table.
USS Quest.
I don't think that's happening.
You don't think so?
Maybe I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong. Look at the players, Theta. Look at the players.
Oh no! Well, I'm glad we didn't put money on
it. Yeah, how much money was that again, anyway?
I don't know, but just multiply it by 0 and you'll get it.
Oh, sweet. Okay, let's jump into quick intermission. Jump into this round or this new map. Oh, never mind. They're coming back to this lobby. The fun dance, song and dance of custom maps. Sometimes one player doesn't have it. Jet to jump out to remake the lobby, or try and hope that you can get the lobby out going anyway with the players jumping out. But that's how it goes sometimes, right? And that's how it goes. USS Quest. Now this is the map by Evolution. Custom map. Takes place on a air carrier, a US air carrier in a bathtub.
It's believable, and you've got an Israeli jet on one side and a British jet on the other.
Okay.
And just filled with cargo containers and boxes and
budget cuts. Okay, they're buying any jets they can find. They're shipping. I don't know what they're shipping, but they're shipping stuff. You don't know anything, Theta. What do you know? Are you some kind of boat engineer? Huh? What's your credentials?
Are you a carrierologist, bro?
In fact, I am.
Yes, this is. Oh, we can't forget the Viper Monument.
Okay, there's that. Well, we'll have to show that off once we get cams back. But we were there. Saw that go down live as the poor Viper, as he was stuck with no way back up. Definitely a fun one to go back and watch in the charity tournament. It was. What was it?
Yeah,
that one by Kai, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. That was when he was on that team Boss Viagi, I believe.
Viagi-do!
Boss Viagi-do.
Boss Viagi-do!
Yes, but that was a moment that shall live in infamy, as they say. You got stuck down there, and now you do not get stuck down there.
Yeah, ramp added.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta love our custom map makers providing content for us.
Do we have to love them though? I feel like
we
that's
don't
optional.
have to love them except one.
No, 0.
Huh? I don't know about that. I think that's being a little harsh, Theta.
Fine, it's fine. Looks like we still might be worth an intermission because we don't have a full lobby. Looks like we're missing some people. Maybe a download had to happen or something.
Definitely could be the case here. We'll jump into that quick intermission, and we'll be back in the action or in a few minutes either way. Do stick around. We'll see you guys shortly. little bit of mirth in the Pandamonium line here right at the start. A bit of a hang up at the start. Sorry about that, guys, but we're ready and we're getting back and started. Lightwolf pushing down the center here. Fitz instead opting to go for the red alley. Nexus picking up Gunrama on quite an aggressive rotation down the side tunnel here, maybe trying to get a flank off, but wasn't to be, as they say. And now Hangman and Jacob pushing up quite a bit here. Reinhardt picking up another one in the back tunnel. White Fang looks like he's pushing forward. Another couple kills going down, even a C4 kill on to Reinhardt. Lumpy picking up Lightwolf. Nexus now pushing forward, and a brutal start with only 2 players left. Nexus totally surrounded by the likes of Lumpy, getting picked up there. And now it's just up to the likes of White Fang. What happened, Theta?
We're about a minute in, and everybody started dying. That's what happened.
1 minute in. Everyone dead.
Huge change of pace from the rest of the match. I think Entity wants to make sure they get at least 1 map out of this. Squeeze at least a little bit of MMR out of it. But White Fang has quite a challenge ahead of him because he has to cross the deck. He does have time if he wants to go back to the red alley and rotate around to the catwalk, but
you could do like 5 rotations.
Yeah.
If you wanted to.
On this map, it's certainly doable. Oh, but a Lumpy. Oh, and the trade.
Whoa. Nice snap fire from Lumpy there, giving Entity the win on that one. Entity will... Oops, forgot to do the big one. Here you go, guys. Look at this tiny window. Boop. Right, throw this one to end there. Award Entity their well-fought points. Dealing... Oops. Didn't change the map yet. My bad. Let's jump back there and fix this right on up for you. USS Quest. Throw that on the board. Then give them their points. Boom. Predictions for this round, Theta. Fast, slow, mass smokes, knife charge. What do you expect?
A knife charge?
Knife
That's
charge.
A spicy prediction.
Fix bayonets without bayonets.
I would love to see everybody throw their guns overboard because you can do that on this map. Just toss it into the drink. And then nothing but smokes and knives.
Okay. All right. I feel like you're wrong, but good prediction nonetheless, Theta. Good job.
Can I say I'm a contrarian?
I'm just going to say you get a participation star.
Nice.
Right here on your nose.
I can live with that.
That's what we strive for. Some smoke's coming out, so the first part of the prediction was correct.
Yeah, sadly, I don't think my prediction's going to come true. But there is a smoke.
There is one single sad smoke.
Oh, as you say that,
2,
several
3,
very
4.
exciting smokes come out.
Reinhardt going for a hardcore flank on the side here. Should run into the likes of Fitz. Shots coming down on the west side of the map as these players rush towards one another. Reinhardt coming around fast, but Fitz just waiting for him with his pistol. Fitz, you beast! Nexus picks up Hangman. Gunrama, though, picking up Lightwolf. Gunrama
that's a cap.
Jacob.
That's a cap.
Oh, boy.
Oh, or not. Nev rotates just in time.
Might even get a pickup here. Both players right on top of each other, but not seeing it. Nexus coming around, not able to deal with that. That said, you know, that was a tough order to come back from either way.
And even though my prediction wasn't completely accurate, there was a pistol kill that round. I think that deserves some kind of credit.
I don't think you get any credit, but it was cool to see nonetheless.
Well, that's like your opinion, man.
You don't need to cry about it, Theta. You don't need to cry.
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do.
This is Theta crying right now, if anyone's wondering.
You can tell by all the emotion in my voice that I'm deeply upset at the moment.
Deeply upset. G17 kill, though. Unfortunately, I was so flabbergasted, didn't even get a replay of that, but good move from him, though, waiting for Reinhardt to get aggressive. A great angle to do so, as well, as you're probably not going to get flanked. Get that pickup move from there. Able to keep the teammates alive as well on that kind of west push. Moving towards the objective there and almost getting a cap as well. Very commendable job from them. Still picking up the win, getting those that kill on an Navaste that would not let them cap. Good rotation back towards the objective. And now we're going to be going into the southernmost objective, I believe, on this map.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Also, just going back to that pistol kill, I want to know why he was using a pistol when he had a shotgun.
I think he was just having a good bit of fun, Theta. I know it's a foreign concept to you.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's doing it again. He's got a shotgun again.
Let's see what he's gonna be doing. Fitz. Looks like he's going for another kind of ambush kill in the back here. Meanwhile, Lumpy, Hangman, and Jacob getting mighty aggressive in the red lane here. White Fang about to come into contact, trades, or at least holds him back long enough for Reinhardt to get that pick. Hangman trying to come around the backside, picks up White Fang, who is giving information here. Now it's just Navaste and Reinhardt versus Hangman, and one player in the back supporting Hangman. Nev getting the pick, I think, as he clipped through the wall there, and Reinhardt not happy with that, does kill him. Another pistol kill comes out from the likes of Fitz. Excellent headshot from him that wasn't captured on camera. Don't be mad at me, Fitz. You should have been in red lane. That's all I gotta say. Now just down to Nex, who is kind of stranded in the middle of the map, stuck in the kind of back alley west lane, as it were, kind of alone and confused.
Alone, confused, on the catwalk, spider crabbing.
He's probably thinking. He's probably thinking, why did my teammate die to a pistol? Why did my teammate die to a pistol? Why did my teammate die to a pistol? I still can't figure this one out.
Well, he heard the pistol shots coming from that direction. He said, you know what, guys? I'm going to go the opposite direction.
Yeah,
I'm going to spider crab my way away from that.
Yeah, only a stone cold killer would use a pistol. Nex is quickly getting surrounded here. There's some utility, but Entity chasing him down. No respite. And then we might even see a second pistol kill. And we do. The 5-7 comes out. Fitz gets that shot there.
Wow, and Fitz, hold on. I just want to point out, Fitz is the top killer on Entity right now. He's the top killer on the entire map.
Pistol
with
meta?
a pistol. You saw it here first, folks. We're breaking new ground.
Entity probably kicking themselves now, knowing that if they just were using pistols for the previous two maps, they probably would have came out ahead.
It's all it takes, guys. It's all it takes.
It's all about the kit. That's what makes these teams. Being
the spicier
serious
your
now.
Kit, the spicier your team. Sorry, I'll stop.
Being serious now, Entity, I think, really bringing some different tactics here. Instead of going really cautious and slow, they're instead bringing that aggression, putting Pandamonium on the back foot there, getting those kills quick and fast, even on defense. And Pandamonium is not adjusting well to this tactic, and Entity might just run away for this map 4-0. We'll see how Pandamonium chooses to pivot. Shots already ringing out. Smokes also deployed from the likes of Entity. I think we're going to see another push from them. Next is getting a pickup onto Jacob. More smokes coming out. More and more smokes. Some flashes as well. Gunrama coming around the side here. Kind of this push down the west side has been pretty prominent, and also down the red lane to Gunrama getting a pickup onto Light Wolf, coming around, swinging onto Navaste, also picking her up. White Fang, though, able to stop his reign of terror. And Lumpy also picking up Reinhardt. Down to a 2v3.
Fitz in the red lane with a pistol again, but nobody's going to oblige him this time. As
Definitely
Lumpy
not.
and White Fang getting right next to each other. Ooh, and the peak, and White Fang wins it. Now 2v2.
Hangman getting aggressive, trying to get that refrag, but running into the line of fire of Nexus and getting pin cushion between both White Fang and himself there, and or Nexus, I should say. Now it's just up to Pistol Man Fitz, the lone man on a mission. Secret Agent Fitz. Predictions?
Pistol clutch.
Pistol clutch.
Oh, but
He's
there's a
got 4
C4.
minutes.
C4 right next to him.
Oh,
I'm
not
assuming
that
the person
time.
with the clacker's dead.
Yeah. Pandamonium put a point on the board, bringing this to a 1v3. Still a very tough position for the likes of Pandemonium going into attacking round, but showing that they still got it on their map pick nonetheless too. But Entity might have a bit more of a fight ahead of them. If Panda keeps this up, brings that momentum in their favor, we'll see what they can muster here.
Indeed.
This objective, I think, is probably the most powerful for attackers as well. It's very capable. All the defensive positions for this objective as well are very risky, I would say, and prone to utility. Smoke cap has been proven very, very effective in countless VRML matches in the past as well. This could be a tough one. We're going to have to see a strong defense from Entity.
Indeed. The one mistake a lot of defenders make is they stay too far north of the objective. They hang out behind those 2 Hescos, but if you smoke their visibility out and move in to the Hesco just behind it to the south of the objective, you can get a cap right under their noses.
I'm not going with you. I'm going on the inside.
Oh, man.
Okay, I gotcha.
Got a little bit of a sing-song from Navaste, doing all she can to remember the code here. Probably a good move on an objective like this. But here we go. The attack has started. Light Wolf and Reinhardt moving forward. Light Wolf's name's hard, folks. I don't know why, but it always gets mistaken. Oh!
Oof, close.
Light Wolf's like, oh! Narrowly missing a grenade there. What did you just do there? What was that? Do you want to do that again?
No, I don't think I can do it on command. Just sort of happens spontaneously.
White Fang pushing up in the red lane here. Very cautious compared to kind of not even really. The whole attack seems to be pretty cautious here. Pandemonium not wanting to give up their chance at taking the 3rd map as well. Entity as well, holding their angles. As fun as the last few rounds of going, they're still playing to win. And I just want to say their aggressive tactics have been working, but switching it up can be very powerful here. And with 5 up against 3 Pandas, they're in a good place.
Indeed. And Jacobo and White Fang now engaging each other.
Oh my, Jacobo saying surprise. Oh, you're so cute.
How precious.
Oh man. Jacob getting that call out for the rest of his team, letting them be aware that even if he goes down, that they will need to guard their backside. Pretty strong defensive line from the likes of Entity. Looks like they're kind of pushing up a bit. Jacob coming around the corner here, able to pick up White Fang, getting it down on him, and most likely a confirm as he is quite alone here. Entity showing that they have what it takes, defending the hardest objective on this map, and convincingly as well. Still 5 up. A chance does remain from the likes of the Pandas, but it'll be a tough one. Oh, sad grenade. Reinhardt going down to the likes of Hangman. Now just up to Nexus. Revive is available. And it looks like we will see that. But if he's not careful, Hangman might pick him up as the revive comes out.
Oh,
Reinhardt.
oh, those are the worst. Those are the worst.
The fleeting chance. Gone so quickly, as fast as it comes. Oh man, the revive came out, but that confirm by Hangman, able to stop it cold. Now Nexus kind of in a bad spot as he is now has to run very far back in order to get out of the skill box. Hangman with some communication could get him hemmed in, and you could see what they're trying to do with Lumpy coming around the side here. But it looks like Nexus will be able to get out of the net, as it were, picking up Lumpy as he comes around the corner here. Not quite watching back towards where Nexus was. Now it's just up to Hangman and Jacob, and I think there might have even been a drop. Was there a drop of a live player? Did you notice that?
Yeah, Gun Rama dropped off. He
Okay.
just came back. So now 2v1 instead.
Unfortunately, he didn't jump off the bridge. He just jumped off his internet. It's always more funny when someone jumps off the bridge or jumps off the boat. But, you know, sometimes things happen.
Yeah, sometimes you just run a little too fast and end up in a bathtub. It happens.
It happens. And we all know how deadly bathtubs are as well.
Yeah, it's just onward
definitely.
things, guys.
Just onward things. What stops a highly trained war fighter who's part of an elite military unit? Water.
Mm-hmm. It's a fact. It's just science.
Absolutely. Nexus here. Still 2 minutes roughly on the clock. Trying to push around, get around the backside, which I think was exactly the right move. If he continues this flank without getting spotted by the likes of Hangman, he could get the drop on both of them, who are both hanging very close to objective. So very scared of a cap coming out, and the opportunity for a kill just narrowly missed by the likes of Nexus. Something you do see a lot in these kind of final moments where there's not enough eyes on all the possible angles, and these opportunities do get missed as these players don't have the eye in the sky like we do. Let's jump down to what Nexus is kind of looking at here. You can see narrowly checking all these angles, going slow, and the team kill comes out. Thankfully for Entity, it's only a down, but it is information for Nexus, who will be able to pick up both of them and a kill there.
Wow.
Giving Pandamonium a shot at bringing this map.
Yep, that was a nice little spray on his part. Both of them were lined up in roughly the same spot. They had maybe staggered a little bit. They had a chance at a refrag, but I just don't think they were ready for a flank from the red lane. So nice play by Nexus to clutch that for his team.
Definitely gonna get a cheers and pat on the back on the 10 on that one. Excellent moves going around the backside. Exactly the weakness that they weren't expecting. I think getting out of that kind of hold that Entity was putting around him just really threw them through a loop there. They were not expecting him to go for that long rotation. They didn't see that that move coming out there. Maybe missed his cross. And everyone watching the same direction ultimately is where it went wrong, I think, for Entity on that one.
Yep. Yeah, they had such an advantage, and that's how this game is. If you don't play carefully, if you don't watch the angles and spread the labor around the team effectively, one person can win.
Definitely. So it's unfortunate there, but now Entity is going to have the situations flipped here. They now have the opportunity to attack the same objective, where they could get a cap, or they could get just win on kills as well. This is a very dangerous situation for Pandas. As good as the last round was, they're still on a very, very dangerous position here, and are going to have to play at the best of their ability in order to bring this one back.
I mean, technically, yeah.
I think we're actually in round 5. I might have missed that one up. I don't know anymore.
No, we are on round 6.
Okay, okay. I'm not that bad. I'm just bad.
Mm-hmm. Pretty bad.
No, thanks. White Fang guarding red lane here. Fitz continuing to push down this alley. Kind of a standard for him. Reinhardt picking up Jacob as they push through the center there. Lumpy downing Lightwolf though, and they are very dangerously close to objective. Nexus is basically the only one left. Reinhardt needs to rotate. Nexus going down. This is a very bad situation for Pandas. Reinhardt cannot let any crash happen. Picks up Hangman. Gunrama, though, coming around the side, telegraphs his position, though. All of the Pandas are rushing back. They're in an emergency situation here. Gunrama doing his best here, picking up Nexus, but Reinhardt coming around the back will bring this back, and a flurry of action right at the end there. That was a close one for Entity.
No kidding. And Entity was right on the verge of winning this map, but Pandamonium showing some willpower and saying, not today. We are going to put up a fight. So go to the map decider, 3-3.
That's what we like to see. This is going to be a tough one. Pandemonium on the attack. Show them what they got. Their map pick as well, I got to say. Entity really being ferocious on this one. Throwing them through a loop, and Pandemonium forced to pivot and figure out their defense as Entity has been laying them out. But showing they got what it takes, even when they're in a losing streak there on the points. As we saw Entity just continue to tick up. Pandemonium brought it back, bringing it to a 3-3 in this nail biter final map between these two teams. Could go either way. I'm really excited to see this one. I hope you are too, Theta.
Indeed. These deciders are what this game is all about, in my opinion.
Always fun to see them. Got a little bit of banter here, and let's see what's going on in the Panda side. Oh, come on. Everybody in high spirits. Let's say that 2 players going red lane. Looks like we're gonna have 2 defenders as well. Smoke's already coming out here, going to obscure any kind of push from the defenders here, force them to kind of hold back. But I think that White Fang isn't going to be ready for this as Fitz comes around the corner here, not able to get the pickup on him, but Jacob taking out White Fang with a prejudice there. Blown up by C4, shot by a lot of bullets. He goes down.
Reinhardt making his way up the catwalk. It's like Gunrama is popping back and forth, but he's... Oh, and as I say that, spots Rindeen and takes him out.
Light Fang takes out an aggressive Jacobo. Lumpy, though, kind of in a good ambush position, able to crouch up in a place that Lightwolf probably isn't expecting here. Now Lightwolf is pushing forward, and we'll have to see what Lumpy chooses to do. Utility coming out. Light Fang just using his light machine gun to hold him steady, but Lumpy just coming over the top, able to get that pickup, and now it's just down to a 1v2. Nexus, final man up for the Pandas yet again. We'll see what he can do.
Well, he got the clutch last time.
Smoke coming out should telegraph somewhat where his position here. Lumpy coming around the backside, though. Nexus probably not going to be ready for this.
Oh, he heard him. Oh, but he did not adjust in time.
Yeah, can't rotate out of the way, and Entity will pick up map number 3. Let's see if I caught that. There we go. Interesting rotation from Nexus there. Knowing Lumpy was coming around the corner and trying to get out of the way, maybe try and stop any kind of double rotation from the last 2 defenders, but wasn't quick enough. Couldn't react off that sound in a way that would defend his life there, give him an opportunity to fight back. Entity picks up that last round. Really interesting to see that shift from them as well. Worked out really well, really threw Pandas through a loop, and us too up here in the caster's desk. Really fun match to watch, seeing these two teams go against each other. Do you have any thoughts about this map or any of the previous maps?
No, this is just a great match. I'm glad we both caught it, and I look forward to seeing what both of these teams can bring to the table next season.
Definitely so. Always new opportunities to face your rivals from the previous season, see what tactics have changed, what play styles are differ, maybe new players on the roster as well. Always a fun one. Let's give Entity their final point there, taking map number 3 in USS Quest, Pandamonium, ultimately taking the series. Winning the first 2 maps, Quarantine and Subway. Doing very well for themselves, ending out this season with a win on the board. Always fun to have. There is always, like I said previously, the Challenger Cup, that it will be coming up for these players to try and get that coveted 8th spot in the semifinals, as well as possibility of a few challenges here or there for any players that are just biting at the bit to get back in the action. A few more matches as well coming up on this weekend here, and well, the finals should be a fun one. Let's end it here, I think. This has been Pandemonium versus Entity, brought to you by Monorchid and my wonderful co-caster Theta, my original co-caster buddy. We'd like to thank the VR Master League providing the format, the moderators, the sponsors, to all you guys that watch and support us as we cast these teams playing against each other, duking it out as it were. See you guys all around in the future. It's been fun. Have a good one.